Hi everyone, this is Dax and Jongho from DCL-Metrics. We're going to make a short presentation today so you can see what we've been working on and what we have planned for the next 6 months. So to start, you can see on the screen that we have some metrics about Decentraland. So basically what our project is trying to do is make some of the most common metrics about user interest and user visitation in Decentraland available to the public. So the way that we're doing this currently is pulling data from the Catalyst servers, which gives us counts about the number of visitors that visit each scene, each parcel, maybe some various ways in which they interact, such as like how long they spend on a scene, where they log in, where they log out from, kinds of things like this. And yeah, so we have already in the past about 3 months implemented some things like what you're seeing right here, which is the scene picker. So this shows you the top 10 scenes for a given day based on the number of visitors that visited those scenes. So you can see, for example, underneath the map component, there's a heat map, so you can see how many visitors were in each parcel. There's also some histograms to show you how long visitors spent, at what time of the day they were there. Maybe some information also about the users, including their Decentraland profiles and their Etherscan profiles, as well as if they're verified users, like if they have a name token or if they're logged in or not, things like this. So I will let Jongwoo talk about some of the other components that we have to show you some more details about the scenes or scenes and the parcels.
Okay, so we have a couple different formatting of the charts for the data for Decentraland, and as you can see, we have a line chart for the unique visitors, parcels, how many parcels are visited or how many scenes are visited can be seen via this line chart with a date range so that you can check out the relativity in with a glance. And also we made some top 10 charts of users so that which users are the most active one and what number that will be with the glance. And as Dex said, we also have a scene component which is listing top 10 scenes at the moment, and you can check out more in-depth detail for each scene, and it's also including the heat maps of each parcels. So
Okay, so this is the status page. This page is basically recording all of the external calls that we make to other services. So you can see in the headers, there's, for example, Lambda's profiles, stats parcels, comms peers, and so on. There's more calls that we make. Each one of these basically is just a record of the calls that we're making to retrieve the data to create all of the values that you see on the site. And this can be helpful to see the condition of the data sources that we're gathering from. So comms peers, for example, is the Catalyst servers. This is where we get the majority of our data from. And in this specific example, you can see that the health of all of them were 100%. So we, for example, hit peer API 1,008 times yesterday, and there was 0 failures. So it has 100% uptime. But interconnected online, for example, had 277 failures. So these could be anything from 500 errors to just like timeouts or us not being able to reach the server because of something on our side, or it could also be something on their side. But yeah, this is just to give sort of an overview of how healthy the data sources we're pulling are from.
and then lastly, we tried to set up a roadmap and the changelog in the same page, and you can check out what we did and what we're gonna do in the near future. And what we did, you can see what kind of stuff are being done so far in 3 months, and what we're gonna do on the roadmap is not set in stone, but we will try to keep things in track.
Also, something else another thing to add is, as Jungwoo said, the roadmap is not set in stone. This is basically the roadmap that we provided when we created the proposal. But there's other things that have come up in that time, additional scene metrics that people have asked for, and other small feature requests that people have asked for. So if there's something that you'd really like to see, please feel free to reach out to one of us or contact us in the DAO channel about our grant. We're happy to try to add additional features to this. Another thing that I think we should mention is that we are planning to open source the code probably by the beginning of next year. That's something that we've talked about with the grant support squad several times, and I know that the community has a lot of interest in this. And I think it makes sense as a project funded by the DAO to have an open source code base. So these are some things that you can look forward to in the next couple of months. And just one more time to say that if you have any feature requests or other ideas for what you'd like to see us list here on our stats page, please just let us know.